Grandpa never let anyone near his shed, but after he died, what they found inside left them speechless. Raymond was always a quiet man. He loved books, gardening, and drinking tea on his porch. But everyone in the family knew there was one thing he never spoke about: the old shed in his backyard. It had a heavy chain and 2 rusty locks. When someone asked about it, he'd just say, "Just junk," and change the subject. When Raymond died at 87, his son Mark came to help clear out the house. The shed was still locked. Mark had asked about it many times over the years. His dad never gave a real answer. This time, Mark decided to open it. His wife, Sarah, told him to just let it go, but something didn't feel right. That night, Mark found a key hidden behind a loose brick in the fireplace. He walked outside, hands shaking. The key fit. The lock clicked. He opened the shed door and froze. The shed was not full of junk. It was like a hidden room from a different life. Mark stepped inside slowly. There were shelves on the walls with boxes. A folded army uniform was placed carefully in a glass case. Black and white photos were pinned everywhere. Some showed soldiers, some showed old buildings. One large photo stood out. It showed his father, Raymond, in uniform. Next to him was a woman holding a baby. Mark stared at the picture. He didn't know the woman. He didn't know the baby either. On the table in the middle of the shed was a letter. It had "To my son" written on the front. Mark opened it with both hands, shaking. The letter said, "I never told you about my time in the war. I fought in World War II. I saw many things I could never talk about. After the war ended, I stayed in France for a while. The woman in the photo is Elise. The baby she's holding, he's your brother." Mark felt his chest tighten. His eyes filled with tears. He kept reading. "I loved them both. I wanted to bring them home. But life got in the way. I sent letters for years. Some came back marked unknown address. Others were never answered. I built this shed to keep their memory alive. I never told your mother. I couldn't. I didn't want to hurt her." Mark looked around again. Everything was placed neatly. There was a small box with more letters. He opened it and saw old envelopes. Some had French stamps. Some were returned and unopened. One letter stood out. It had a return address in France. It was dated just 5 years ago. Mark took the letters and the photo home. A few days later, he showed them to his sister, Anna. She was shocked. She had no idea their father had another son. They sent a letter to the French address. A few weeks later, they got a reply. A man named Luke wrote back. He was 70 years old. He had grown up hearing stories about an American soldier named Raymond. 2 months later, Luke visited. He stepped into the shed and cried. He said, "This is what I've been waiting to see." Mark and Anna showed him the photos, the medals, and the uniform.